Alright, what's good YouTube? My name is Tai, and this is my first official video on this channel. So if you like it, make sure you drop a like and subscribe for more future content. So what I'm going to be discussing in this video is my review of the Philippines and what you might expect if you want to travel here. So I've been staying in Sorsogon for about 2 months with my girlfriend, and yeah, we're just traveling, living down here. So I'll just start off with what happened leading up into me going to the Philippines. I was living inside Palm Springs, California. So anyone who knows geography a little bit, that's a pretty far travel. So in order for you to make that trip internationally, you're gonna need one of these thingies. The passport itself cost me around, I think altogether, like almost $300, but good investment if you want to travel internationally. And I'll show you my picture. They always shoot to get a bad picture of me, but it's too bright. Maybe you can see it there. But yeah, I got this thing back in July, and you're set. You can travel anywhere throughout the world except, North Korea or some shit like that. So I got my passport, got my ticket, and then I flew from LAX to Hong Kong, and then Hong Kong to Manila. When I first landed in Manila, it was I knew automatically I was in the Philippines. The airport is I don't know how to put it. There's just something different about it, because I'll tell you this. When I went from LAX to Hong Kong, I noticed that there were about like 4 black people on the flight. And as soon as I went from Hong Kong to Manila, it was nothing but Filipinos, and I was the only black person on that flight. As soon as I landed inside Manila itself, I was the only black person, and I didn't see another black person for like another month or so. So it was like off the bat, I already knew I was gonna stick out and people were gonna notice me. I stayed in Manila for the night. That was an experience. We stayed inside like this McDonald's hotel, and there was no AC. You're gonna find a lot of places out here with no AC, so you gotta get used to that. And it was like 3 a.m. when I landed, and people were still on the street. Like it was like it was broad daylight. There were still vendors on the street selling stuff. It seemed like the city didn't sleep itself. The cars were still beeping outside. And so we woke up early that morning, and then we took this big bus all the way from Manila to Sorsogon. And anyone who knows that, any Filipinos who are watching this video, you know that's a long drive. The drive was at least estimated, it was going to be like an 8 to 9 hour drive traveling there. But our bus broke down, and then there was multiple stops and everything like that. It almost took us a whole day to get there. We left at 8 in the morning, and I believe we didn't get there till like 2 at night. So it was a journey just to get there. But I will say, when traveling on that bus, I got to see a lot of the scenery and a lot of things that I haven't exactly seen before. Like, these cities are built around jungles, so they're still preserving the wildlife, and it's a lot less government and a lot more the people for themselves. And I thought that was just cool. So for example, when you're riding down highways, you might see people on top of vehicles. It adds that sense of adventure and wildness when you're traveling down here. So that's something that's cool that you might want to check out. I got a list on my phone, so I'm gonna just be going through that. Now let me get on to the culture of the Philippines and a little bit of what you're gonna expect out of the people when you get here. When I first got here, I wasn't aware that almost 90% of the population is Catholic. And that's something that ever since I got here, people ask me, they're like, are you Catholic? The country is very religious, and there's churches everywhere. So I'm a Baptist, so it wasn't a big thing, because Christianity is still something that I follow. They're very patriotic people. They're proud to be Filipinos. There's a bunch of festivals out here celebrating the culture of the Philippines, and I thought that was pretty cool because coming from America, not everybody has that sense of nationalism and pride in the country. So everybody down here is very prideful of their roots, and they're cool with sharing it with you. The language down here, I was actually shocked. A lot of the population actually speaks English. It's the second language down here, and when you're going to like a fast food restaurant or something like that, it's actually the first language that people speak to. And so that wasn't really a main problem, but I would recommend picking up a couple phrases in your arsenal because not everyone can speak English at a very fluent level. The food down here is amazing, and you have a wide selection, whether it's restaurants or street vendors. One of my favorite dishes is kwek kwek. It's boiled egg, and it's wrapped around this orange shell, and it's served with vinegar. That's awesome. Lumpia Shanghai, which is just like another word for egg roll. The tocino. Anything served with egg and rice has become my favorite down here. So, and a couple of the popular fast food chains down here. There's a Jollibee on every corner, Chowking, Mang Nasao. That place is awesome. The PM3 is just fire as fuck. So get that. The women down here, my girlfriend's watching, so I gotta be a little selective with the words I'm saying. But they like foreigners, and I know that for a fact. No, I'm just playing, but if you are interested in picking up and courting a Filipina, there is a high chance for you, man. So just don't come off as arrogant, and yeah, you should be all good. A lot of the Filipinos, what they know about black people is what they've seen on television and on social media. So you have to paint a good image of yourself and always remember to be respectful and kind to everybody, and you should be good from there. The height down here is something that I was kind of expecting, but like it didn't hit me till I actually got down here. So the average Filipino woman, I would say, is like around 5'2", and then the average Filipino male is like around 5'6", 5'7". I'm pushing like 6'3", so I'm just like a target every time I go out. They're always staring at me and stuff like that. It kind of brings a lot of attention to myself, and you'll notice around the city, even when you're riding inside tricycles, they're not built for your size. So that's something that I've had to adjust to as well. Also, your hair down here, man. So I don't have that typical straight hair like a lot of Filipinos do, and that also makes me a target. It makes me stick out. I will say one thing though about the hair care products: they don't have any for you. So no, I'm just playing. But my girlfriend's coughing, so it's preventing me from doing this video. Are you done? Like, are you good?
No.
So maybe you could bring those paths in the airport. The transportation down here is actually pretty cool. You have a lot of options, from riding in a van to riding on a bus to a tricycle. Me and my girlfriend, we just purchased a motorcycle. So I would recommend, like, because we're kind of staying here for a long time, if you're staying longer than 6 months, I would recommend purchasing like a second-hand motorcycle and then just learning how to drive it. But yeah, make sure that you're riding safe, you have insurance on your bike, and you should be all set. So the tricycles down here are typically, they're just motorcycles with like a side unit that can fit like 2 people in it. But I've seen these things get packed. People ride on top of them, on the back of them. They're holding on from outside, and it's kind of cool to see. Like, once again, it makes everything look so adventurous, and the people don't mind it as well. So I guess that's a good thing. The vans out here are typically used if you're traveling from city to city. I've taken many vans to Legazpi, to Naga, to Erosin, just to a lot of places, and they pack those pretty tight too, man. So, like I said, I'm 6'3", so my legs don't even be fitting when I go there. I hope that the advice I gave you guys today is something that you guys will take with you when you go and travel internationally, and just something to be excited for. I'm really glad to actually be traveling and visiting all these different places. So I hope you guys have as much fun as I do when you guys get down here. And as always, be awesome and stay tuned, guys. All right, bye.